You are not interesting. Here's why. But first, play the intro.
Would you rather have your partner cheat on you in front of the entire world or in private?
Like me, your niece Sachimani in the summer, we're gonna have beef.
I don't like sweat.
And then it dies of starvation. What now?
Don't play. I saw the Instagram.
I'm a winner at life.
Because we don't want to spoil the movie. Who's gonna want to watch it?
What's the climax? Like, what
There's
you
no
doing?
point. Like, girl, you want to taste the juices, the meats.
That's all. All it is critical thinking, honestly.
So my favorite podcast to watch right now is Kill Tony. And on Kill Tony, he asks every guest this same question. He asks them, what is interesting about you? And every time I hear that, I internalize it, right? Like, damn, if I was a guest on there and he asked me that question, what would I say? Most of the guests that come on, they don't really have an answer to that.
I get stuck, right?
Yeah, so I feel like I would be that person because everything they answer is something I would answer. Like, I go to the gym, I work kind of in tech, I have a podcast. Like when they say I have a podcast, what's Tony's response right away?
Kill that shit. We ain't here to talk about your shitty podcast.
Come on, bro. You're on one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Like,
you want to talk about your shitty podcast?
You're here to. It's a comedy podcast. So one, you're in that interview. You had to entertain, and you're not there to promote your stuff, right? You're here for this show. So it's like I've really been struggling with that question for a couple weeks. I've been thinking about it. Like, what is so interesting about me? And I started thinking, what makes someone interesting? And I'm stuck. Like I don't know.
Did you know only 20% of humans have the internal voice inside their head?
I think it's
Really?
50%.
Is it 50?
Yeah,
It's
and it's called internal monologue. We had this discussion already.
So people don't talk to themselves in their heads?
No, we
Yeah.
talked about this already.
No, I get it, but like
Okay.
that's my
I get it,
point.
brother.
Like, that's like some people like just like they don't have anything to be interesting about, but also like the most littlest thing could be what's interesting about you. Like the fact that you actually have a voice inside your head. Like, oh shit! Imagine being raised in a town where nobody talks in their head, and you hear this person. It's like, yo, I got a voice inside my head. Like, oh, this nigga.
Yeah,
crazy.
but I think the opposite is just as interesting, right? Like I have internal monologue, but some people play a whole fucking movie in their fucking head, right? Like instead of talking to themselves, they see it. I feel like that's even fucking better. You know what I mean?
Nah, I see that.
Wait.
show.
I was gonna say I think I heard something similar to this where only half of the people, like when I just say an ocean right now, some people see the word ocean in their head. Other people envision an ocean like a wave and everything.
Fucking loser. What are you, a robot? Fuck.
Yeah. Like me, I don't see the word. I see like the ocean.
I see
picture, like,
mad water. You know what I'm saying?
wave,
Shit coming up.
the horizon. Like I see the sun. Like I have that picture in my head.
Mhm.
Steven just sees the word ocean in his head by his response.
No, I would have to like hyper fixate on it and to see it. Like it isn't an immediate reaction.
What
Oh,
up?
Does that say you got no imagination?
No, I got pretty good imagination.
No, let's talk about your sex life.
No, it always goes back to that. Back to what makes somebody interesting. Back to what makes somebody interesting. What do you find? What makes someone interesting to you? Like when you meet somebody, like what makes them interesting?
Having an imagination. That's where I was going. You feel me?
Oh. Okay.
Like being like just out the loop type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just not trying to follow the race. You know what I mean? Like just doing anything out the source. Like, yo, like there's people that just wake up and like, I want to paint today. I'm like, I fuck with that. Let's paint. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's I think for me, when I find somebody interesting is someone who I can't predict who you are or what you're doing. I think today a lot of times on social media and everything, people are kind of conditioned to be this person. You know, the algorithm kind of molds you to be a specific person. You know, you're either a really right-winged person, you know, you listen to Rogan, you know, you think Trump should be president. You're like, you have a certain like algorithm that feeds you that way, right? And then you have another algorithm that feeds you this other way, this leftist way where like you can't say these words. You know, we have to be very progressive. We can't question anything for the sake of progressiveness.
Yeah.
And people just fall into that and into those kind of buckets. And then me, I think I'm someone who's kind of in between where I can like, I see everything that this side is saying, cool, but then I also see the madness that this side is saying. And then I go and then the same way to the other side, I'm like, okay, I get your points, but then some of that is kind of crazy what you're saying. Yeah. So like when I find people who are not in these molds, they're kind of nuanced. That's who's interesting to me. It's like, okay, you got your own brain. That's part of the in short words, is someone who has their own brain and their own original thought. Even if I don't agree with anything they're saying, if it's original, then I'm like, oh, this person's cool.
Yeah, I levitate towards it just because it's like something new.
Yeah, I could just sit and discuss with you. So I think that's very important for me. For someone to be interesting is original thought.
Okay, that's not bad. I fuck with that. I'm the same way. I like, you know what I'm saying, your imagination, your breast size, just a bunch of things, you know. No, I'm kidding. The hobbies. Yeah.
The hobbies.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, just like things you like to do. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's like that's what makes a person. The things that you do, you feel me? The things that you don't also make a person, you know what I mean? So like just sitting there in their couch just doing nothing. It's like, all right, bro, like do you feel like you have a purpose? Like what is like what's the, you know, what are you doing?
What if their hobbies are
It's my turn now.
Okay.
So real quick.
Sing them along. Like,
real quick.
That's just it.
You guys are talking about like experiences. Whoa. I didn't ask for this. Slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down.
It's your turn.
No. Bring it back. All right. So personally, I feel like am I answering like what makes me interesting? Like, am I answering? Because I've been preparing for this.
Okay, yeah. What?
Yeah, because you guys are talking about like experiences, like what they do, what they don't do, their breast size, you know, a bunch of fucking random shit. Which is okay. Like, I'm not shitting on nobody.
Okay. Can you answer all those questions?
What do I do? Nothing. What do I don't do? Nothing either. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. But okay, Steven. So answer that. What makes you interesting? And then on the flip side, what do you find interesting in others?
I feel like the same thing that makes me interesting is what I find interesting in others, right? It's the shit that people know, right? Whether it's no matter what, you are bound to find someone who's going to grab your attention based on what they know, right? Like, for example, someone walking out of the Pentagon, they'll catch John's attention. John's going to have some questions for him, regardless. He's going to have those conspiracy questions, right? It's just about finding the right people. Everyone is interesting. Everyone knows something that someone else wants to know. Every single person is interesting.
I don't believe that.
Every single person is interesting.
Some boring ass people out there.
No, I agree. I agree with Steven.
Everyone is interesting. It's just about what you want to know and what they can tell you, right? Like for me, things that I don't know are so fucking. I want to know everything. That's who I am, right? Like, I made friends with someone who's a pilot, right? And they told me some weird ass statistic that you're like 30% more likely to die from a fucking car accident than a plane crash. I did ask this question though, because I'm afraid of fucking heights and being on a plane, right? So it made me feel more comfortable. But besides that, like we went down a whole rabbit hole about how like a plane fucking works. And I'm like, I did not know how a plane works till today. You know what I mean? That's obviously like
go up and come down and shit.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into planes. Like even just the temperature and the pressure in the cabin itself, like all that plays a factor. I feel like everyone is interesting. It just depends on what you want to know. And I think what makes me the most interesting is that I want to know it all. You know what I mean? Like
I'll fight that. I don't think everybody's interesting at all. You feel me? Like
this is a good conversation.
Like people that just don't have a voice in their head. Like what the fuck are you doing, bro?
So let me paint this person for you. Oh, actually, you do it. Paint me someone who isn't interesting, and then I'll try to find something interesting in that person.
Okay, somebody that's not interesting. Okay, unmotivated.
Okay, unmotivated. So what does their day look like?
I can answer that question.
A bunch of nothingness.
I can answer that question.
Well,
so John, real quick, right? You think this person's not interesting? You come across someone.
He goes to work, gets home, watches Wheel of Fortune till 6 o'clock, eats, showers, goes to sleep. Okay. Beat that. Please tell me where the fuck this is interesting. And I said Wheel of Fortune because I know there's nothing fun about that shit.
I got you. Wheel of Fortune is the game where it's a game show where you have to guess what's the word.
Yeah, you spin it and it's like, oh, give me a vowel. And if they'll be able, there's their number on that wheel, right? Like let's say the number's 2,500. So for every letter that's on that the prompt, right? The prompt. Mm-hmm. Like let's say you guess the letter B and there's 5 B's, you get 2,500 for every letter that's on there. So 5 B's.
Age is very important in this conversation as well. As we're talking about people our age, when you want to meet somebody your age and what they do to find them interesting.
Wait. So let me. I want to answer. So
go. I'll follow.
So real quick, right? You see, you're talking about this guy, right? Our age, right? You said our age. Our age. Our age, who goes home, watches Wheel of Fortune after work, right? And you ask them, like, why are you like this? They are going to tell you about how they were once military. They used to work for the CIA. And now they're tired. They've seen so many dead bodies that they want nothing to do with humans. They can't even feel anything anymore. And that's it. You hooked. That's a whole anime right there, bro. It's a whole anime right there.
It's true.
Next fucking question, bro.
No, that's true. And to add to that, he doesn't even have to be an ex-military man who's gone through all these things. My question to them would be, what is the craziest prize that has been won on Wheel of Fortune?
I honestly just want to call bullshit on your fucking that you think everybody's interesting like this. Literally, we literally see it. You literally see it when somebody be like, "What's so interesting about you?" And they be like, "Oh, I work." It's like, okay,
yeah, but you can pull it out. Everyone's gonna give you that boring answer, but you can pull it out of them. Yeah. You can be like, "Oh, why is your leg missing?" They're gonna give you a whole fucking 10-year long story as to why their leg is missing, right? You can ask, or they can. Or it can be someone who's just a fucking asshole, and you can ask them, "Hey, like, how was your life growing up?" And they're gonna be like, "Oh, my parents shot each other, and then they shot me. Like, that's why I'm an asshole." Everyone is interesting, right? It just depends what you want to know and what they can tell you.
And some people won't articulate it in the moment. Like, for example, a little bit behind the scenes, I was catching up with Steven, and I was trying to find out how was Steven's week, like how was he doing, and he just oh, nothing.
He has a crush on me,
obviously. Steven's like, oh, nothing. So I'm like, you did nothing? He's like, yeah, I worked. I stayed home all week this week. And I'm like, okay, that's it? Did you eat anything? Like, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, I read this comic strip or something. And I was like, okay, you could have told me you read a comic book. Well, he didn't.
Hold on. You're blatantly disrespecting.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Thank you, John. You're blatantly disrespecting.
God.
I hate how you respect some cultures, but you don't respect ours. The fuck,
bro? I'm gonna apologize. It's what is it? What is it called? Or manga, depending on how some people pronounce it.
What is it called?
What do you mean?
Like, what is the thing that it is? That you're reading?
It's a manga.
Manga is the name of the comic strip that you were reading?
Yes. And then they have individual names for the name of each manga.
So what is the difference between a comic book and a manga?
A comic book is made up of trashy characters that trashy people with no imagination made. A manga is a life story of how to become a better person. When you're coming from the bottom, you tear, you cry, you enjoy. It's a fucking life.
So the difference is subjective. You can see a manga. I can see a comic book. Case closed. Next.
No. Comic books are read from left to right. Mangas are read from right to left.
It's an Arabic book. I'm sorry. It's an Arabic book. It's an Arabic comic book. I'm sorry.
I was good. I like it. I like the comparison.
Because you read from left to right. You know what I'm saying? You read different. You say
no, I got it.
Say.
He made it like something that wasn't there. I had to come in there and save you, bro. Steven, I was so sorry, bro. I had to come. I didn't even get the joke until you actually explained it. But just the way the face Steven made, I was like, nah, I gotta say this nigga.
Steven makes everything worse.
Everything. And I think that's what makes me interesting.
Let me just say, I think my breast comment was like,
what?
Like breast. Am I saying
your
that
breast
correctly?
Breast comment. I thought you meant your best comic.
I was trying to make a funny joke towards the thing. Bro, all I see is Steven like, I'm like, damn, did I say something bad? Like, was it that wrong? I wanted to apologize right after I said it. I'm like, shit, bro. Like,
Listen, every story has a protagonist, an antagonist, and a side character. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be a side
Man.
how is
character.
the side character making so many faces on a podcast right now?
I'm not a side character. If the person is making everything worse, they're not a side character.
Man. But it's one of those things where it's like nobody said anything bad, but then someone reacts like, "Ooh, like it's terrible." I'm like, "Oh, now it's something."
Yeah.
Would it be fun if I didn't? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what? Something you should do.
Yo, wait, hold on. For this whole episode, just agree and let's see what happens.
no, don't do that. That's not
Agree?
fun.
For this next episode, for the rest of this episode,
That's cringy.
agree. No, for the rest of the episode, agree and don't curse. You can do that.
Okay. Damn, all right. I'll try.
Well, I was talking to Steven, but
Steven has to agree. Oh, I was playing along. I'm agreeing too. We out.
Oh, you want me to agree? I bet I gotta agree.
okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. It depends.
Yo, Steven, right? You going to Japan to apply for the porn star jobs that they need out there? Because like there's a story going around about
First
how
of all,
this Japanese guy.
First of all. Wait, real quick. First of all,
now can you let John get it out?
wait.
Go ahead.
First of all, I've already done my research thoroughly.
Okay.
I applied for the visa and
Wait,
everything.
your research on what? Because I have no idea what you're talking about because John couldn't get it out.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
So Japan is in need of porn star. Yes, you heard it here. Japan is in need of porn star. So if you're Japanese, go back to okay. It's a joke.
He slapped somebody. He's like, it's a joke.
It's like you scared the shit out of me when you look like that. I was like, fuck, am I getting canceled right now? Now, whatever the case is.
It doesn't matter what sex they just need porn stars. Period.
No, so it's basically male stars. So, like for example, this is the statistic right now. For every 70 male porn star, there's 10,000 female stars. These guys are clacking in for like 8 to 9 type of thing.
All right,
That's not even enjoyable at that time.
Can I? Yeah, I was gonna say something. Like, what makes you think that I would even be able to handle something like that?
What you mean? You
for every
agree
70, there's 10. When the fuck did I agree to that? There's for every 70, there's 10,000.
He lost.
You lost already. Yeah. For every 70 men,
Male, there's 10,000. Right. I don't even count.
That's not even counting the days.
Bro, so right now they're making about 21 videos a week.
21 a week?
Yeah.
What's that? Is that 3? That's 3 a day?
That's probably it. Because think about it. Porn videos, like we only see about 20 minutes, but those takes about 2 to 3 hours and stuff like that.
Who's watching 20 minutes, bro?
I watched the whole story.
No. I watched the story, like how it started. And like
let me tell you something.
Another 30 seconds, you know what I'm saying?
When I was little,
and then I watched the end.
Nah. I used to play this game that used to like literally, it was literally you had to go and try to pick up girls and have sex with them. And that's how I try to like learn game and shit like that from this video game. So I'm single for the rest of my life. This game showed me how to pick up girls. It's so bad, but I used to love it. I used to love that game, bro.
Right. Like, hold on, Steven. Let me ask.
Okay.
What were some of the things that the game has taught you? Like, how do you pick up a woman based off this game?
Okay, so the guy always needed, like, he always had, so he was like about it, like in the sense, like he always said whatever he had to say, type shit. You get me? Like, cause there was like mini videos, like leading up to it. Then you decide what to say next, type of thing. You feel me? So it's like it was
saying what's on your mind really works.
Yeah. We're saying what's on your mind, but then sometimes like
grab her by the pussy.
That's like too crazy, too early, and you'll back up. So I realized I was like, all right, you gotta like get into it little by little, and then say the crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Once you become a master on that, you talking about crazy shit 2 hours after me.
So you've learned kind of the rhythm of talking to somebody new.
The speed. There's a speed to it.
Yeah, just the dance of it.
Dance, yeah, like the how to dance, like how to say things, like you
Okay.
like, yeah.
And based on this training that you went through, this training video,
Yeah.
do you feel like you have been very successful in that?
And what?
In getting women based on this video game?
It's not based on. It's a.
Well, you could just say
For some reason, I don't know.
No.
Has that video game helped me? I don't know. I feel like I know how to speak to females. You know what I'm saying? But that let's take into consideration that I was raised by 11 females. Like I was raised by only females. So like I feel comfortable talking to females. So the game just gave me like a little speed to it. Like, yo, like after you say 3 good things, like, yo, that shit look fat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so is that a rule you go by? Say 3 kind things and then throw something wild, see what happens?
I mean, it all depends.
It sounds like it would work though.
I mean,
What?
It sounds like it would work, right? Like you'd slide in the DMs, be like, "Wow, you look beautiful today. I love those pants. That mole on your cheek is really cute."
Nah,
like,
you gotta hit him with shit that they don't hear. You gotta hit him with shit they don't hear.
But you gotta let me finish. You
right?
gotta
let him finish.
You gotta say 3. You say those 3 nice things, right? And then she's like, "Oh, this guy's kind of nice," you know what I'm saying? And then you be like, "Yo, that toto fat." You know what I'm saying? And then she's
like right there, you would have been cut. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I disagree. She would have been like,
but
yo,
the good thing about the game is that it teaches a very, very, very valuable lesson.
I feel like it would work. Think about it. You say that, right? You say these 3 nice things. She's like, "Wow, this guy is sweet, right? He's nice, he's gentle." And then you say that, and she's like, "Oh, but he's firm. He know what he want." You know what I mean?
Okay. What? He's real firm. What's the lesson?
That the moment you get caught, you just move on to the next.
That's the game.
That was the thing of the game. Like you lose, you try again. You know what I'm saying? So like to all young men out there, out of 10, one of them is gonna say yes to you. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta keep on trying.
Listen, I don't know about out of 10. Like I feel like that's a low number. I feel like maybe out of 100. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some friends of mine who like they shot like 15, 20 jumpers and ain't hit one. But
I'm a shooter.
They gotta shoot 16. Then.
I don't know about your friends.
But hey, listen, I'm not saying you personally, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like number 10, I feel like you cutting a little low.
Nah, because it's a mindset. Because the moment you put 100, you're gonna be like, I need to add 100. So the whole demeanor is down. When you be like 10, you be like, 10 is nothing. What's up? What you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
so in closing, do you think you have been very successful in getting women based on this game or not?
Well, it helped me out in some situations. You know what I'm saying?
This motherfucker do everything but answer the question.
You know what I mean? Like, what you want me to say? Like, I'm a poet. You know what I mean? I can't give out my secrets. Then you out here, my girlfriend in the future might find this video, go find that game and say, this is what you were saying to me this whole time. It was an amazing game, though. Not gonna lie to you. It was an amazing game.
What was this game rated? Like, how the fuck you got your hands on
this?
It
was really hard. You were able to have sex with them afterwards. Like, you were able to do it. Like, it was tough. It was crazy. It was like, like, you know, them websites from back then, like you like mini clip and shit like that. Like, you click on one website, you go to another one, and bam, here's Jake. That was his name, Jake.
From State Farm.
So John's computer had mad viruses.
Yeah.
So a bunch of viruses.
So I used to blame it on that.
Oh, okay, smooth. So speaking of internet stuff, I saw a video, right, about how you're supposed to drink whiskey. Right? This is the proper way. This is how a gentleman drinks whiskey. And I just started thinking, like, if I drank whiskey like this, actually, let me show you. And while you watch this, think about this. Actually, let me paint the picture before you play it. You come home, your family bought this bottle of alcohol, and this is how you try the bottle of alcohol, the way a gentleman drinks whiskey.
Pour it into the glass, swirl it around, as I said to you before, throw it out, because you want to get rid of any odors that are perhaps on the lip of the glass. Swirl it around, bring it up and say, hello. Then you go back to it. how are you, and then go back to it, quite well, thank you very much. Now remember, get into it. Don't go like this. None of this stuff. You want to get right into it to make sure that you're actually examining every part of that whiskey. How do you taste it? Don't knock it back like a cowboy. Take the water. But don't just pick up a jug like this. What you need to do is to pick up a jug with your finger in the water. Why? Because you want to test it. Why do you want to test it? Because many barmen, unfortunately, stick their jug under a hot tap by mistake, and therefore, this is what ruins whiskey. 6 times I've now ruined my whiskey. 6 times.
Let me tell you something. If I did that to a bottle of alcohol that my parents bought or my father bought when I was home.
First of all, is everybody's drunk uncle in the house right now?
I have a better question than that one. Is my mom home right now?
Everybody's in the house. Yeah, it's a family party.
So when he threw the whiskey on the floor, that's when my life would have ceased to exist.
Yeah. And I know about that about Maria. I'll tell you.
Bro, my whole family's there. My whole family's there, and I threw fucking alcohol on the floor on purpose. Yeah. I'm gonna watch Jesus eat rice.
Yeah, you know, kneel on rice. Yeah, bro, that would not fly in my household. That you have to have money where you are concerned about what the cup smells like, so it doesn't ruin your whiskey drinking experience. So if you didn't listen to what he said, the reason why you are swirling it and throwing it out, and so the cup can smell like whiskey when you're going to fill it with whiskey. You don't want the aroma of the cup to interact with your whiskey.
Yeah, nah, bro. The moment I would have gone like that, I had to pull out just kidding. I got another bottle right here. I ain't wasting no liquor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
personally, I've seen videos where people like freeze their cups and then pour their alcohol in it.
I get that.
I like that.
I get that.
I've never tried it. I do want to try it. You feel me? I'm on my this drinking wave, but
the way we were talking about.
It's from the chat seltzer.
Yeah, from the chat seltzer. But I feel like that also makes sense. Like, as stupid as it looked, I feel like it did make some kind of sense.
No, it's a thing for a reason.
Wait. Okay, first of all, I need to clarify. I'm fucking lost. Was that a parody or that was dead ass?
That was dead ass. That was dead ass.
I believe it because there's mad etiquette for everything. Like, to eating soup, like you're supposed to wash your hands or some shit like that. Then there's some crazy shit, bro.
John, to eat anything, you're supposed to have clean hands. You're supposed to wash your hands.
Oh, no, yeah, of course. But they make you do it at the table or some shit like that. So it's crazy. It's some different shit.
Oh, like at the fancy restaurants, they give you the warm.
Yeah, like some shit. I've seen that before for soup or something.
What they give you at the fancy restaurants? Am I
so
broke?
You too broke. You don't understand, bro.
Oh,
next subject.
Never mind. Yeah, I said it. I was like, am I broke? He said fancy restaurants, they give you some shit. And I was like, what? What are they giving you?
Yo, I don't think I've been to a very fancy restaurant. Like an upscale restaurant.
You, this Fridays that they got in Edison right now, cleanest tables. Like, it's fucking amazing, bro.
You want to know why? Because it's fucking empty, John. It's going out of business.
Oh shit.
I've been counting all of Steven's. All the time Steven curses. I just been counting them.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Are you trying to make the bubbles come out? Like, what is it that you doing?
Make the bubbles come back.
So everybody's aware, on my computer, I don't know what controls it, but whenever I do something, I get like bubbles, like emojis, like I don't know.
Some weird shit.
Honestly, I can't wait to watch this back and watch me and Christian synchronize go like this. With no mark. Like, we just did it at the same exact time.
Yeah, bro. I'm thinking about high school because I know there's some kids in my family, right, that they're going into high school right now, right? And I'm just thinking about, like, you know, they're gonna finally have a girlfriend for the first time or a boyfriend for the first time, right? well, I don't know, right? A real boyfriend for the first time. And sometimes people like downplay like love when you're that young because they're like, you don't know what love is, right? You're like, oh, you don't know what love is. You're a kid, like you're not gonna like that's not real. But like, I think it is real to that person. Like to that person is real. Like you can't. I think you're doing that person a disservice when you're not acknowledging how they're feeling because they're feeling love. Like they don't. This is their first experience with love. Maybe their definition of love will change over time. But right now, in this moment, right, John, we're talking about Buddhism being in the moment. In this moment for them, like it's real, and they're feeling it, and they're feeling this love. So like you bashing them and give them this does a disservice to them because now they don't trust you because you're saying this is not real, but they feel something different. So it's like a tricky situation as a parent, maybe just like, how do I coach and guide them through this, knowing chances are this might not be their last relationship.
So, let me tell you, just little side story real quick. As of right now, I'm looking forward to that with my son. But as of right now, little man is helping me because for some reason, every time he finds a girl attractive, he tells him, my dad has a crush on you. When I'm standing right behind him. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Let's get it. But hi, how you doing? My fault. My son is just, he loves playing jokes and stuff like that. Bag 2 numbers like that, bro. 2 numbers, bro. Like they laugh so much. And I'm like, I haven't even trained them to do this.
Train them.
That's like,
that's fine. Yo, what they say like puppies and like kids are like magnets, right? In the dating pool, like it's like fishing with dynamite. So like firsthand experience right here. So that is a real thing.
Bro, I don't know what it is, but it's working. I might stop being a deadbeat. He might seem useful for something. You know what I'm saying? Like
these are jokes. Please don't hold this against them. Put a disclaimer out there.
Nah, at first, I thought you was about to say some BS, but I mean, there's really nothing to say. You put it very well. It was very well thought out. There's really not much else to say. It was very well said. Well, when it comes to
the love thing,
yeah,
I just feel like at the end of the day, like you gotta respect everybody because, bro, like, no matter what age you at, if they ask you what's love, you do not have an answer for it because you thought you loved your ex, you thought you loved your first baby mom. Shit, you thought you loved your second one. Nick Cannon's on his 7th. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you just never know.
I don't think. Real quick, just to answer your question, then I'll come back to you. When Christian said, like, how do you go about coaching? I don't think you can. That's not something you can coach, right? You can't. No,
there's guidance. There's guidance.
Guidance? No, I don't feel like there's guidance. I feel like there's guidance to like make sure no crime or harm happens. Sure, but there's nothing that can stop them from getting their heart broken. There's no such thing.
Oh, yeah, there's guidance, but there's no.
That. It's a crash course.
Yeah, you can kind of like. You can guide them as best as you can, but this is something that's learned, that's never taught.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, like it's like we were talking about Buddhism. Buddhism is a strong belief of basically like suffering. They believe in suffering because through suffering you find enlightenment. You get me? So maybe it's the same thing, like in the sense like
pain shit.
Yeah, like it's like you going through the fire to learn the fucking thing. Yeah, this guy said pain. Yeah, literally pain. You literally got to go through pain to understand what joy is, you know? So I got it.
There is something that changes though from when you're a kid to like when you're an adult and you grow up. And that is how you go about showing that love. So when you're young, you probably show off your partner a lot. I'll say the majority of young people show their off. So this is where
guidance comes in through because my guidance was telling me not to show anybody. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that private.
Keep your life private. Yeah, that's all I was getting.
So you would early on you would show off that love, and then now as you get older, you become a little more private. You don't really want to show everything. You don't want anybody in your business, right? You don't want
you got like families and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you got like 2 other families. They can't be known about each other.
Everything to ourselves, baby.
Reoccurring theme, yeah, families. But what John was saying earlier was like, oh, you don't know what love is at any age. I disagree with that, right? I feel like love is never a positive thing. I don't think love is positive whatsoever, right?
That's interesting.
That's a crazy take. That's a crazy.
It's not a crazy take at all. It's not a crazy take at all. Hear me out.
No. It's a crazy. I'm gonna let you finish, but it's a crazy take just because you're only speaking on your belief. You feel me?
Okay.
Obviously that we know find love, and he says he's happy. Whatever that might be. But I'm saying like he says he's happy, so his love is positive, not negative.
No. That's he's being in love with someone.
Know that.
Being in love with someone does not bring joy, right? I don't think being in love with someone is all the joyful things that happen. I think being in love with someone is being willing to put in the hard work when they're fucking being annoying as shit, right? That goes for parents as well, right? Like when your kid is mad annoying, you can be like, you can put them up for you can put them up for adoption. You can, but because you love them, you're gonna sit there and be like, damn, this kid is annoying, but I love them, so I'm gonna deal with it.
Yeah,
that's what love is.
That's why they say for better and for worse. It's like you got to take both sides of that. But did you finish your thought about love? Would you say you said love is pain? Was that what you started off by saying?
I said love is not a positive feeling.
Show your wrist, everybody. Show your wrist right now. No,
I'm good. So you're saying love? You're saying love isn't. But that's very definitive. Like love is not. It's never a positive thing.
No, because you can always buy these positive things, right?
You can't buy love, bro.
You going to Thailand?
That's what I said. You can't buy love. That's my point. But everything I can get from a positive version of love, I can also buy. I can buy a hug and a kiss.
You can't.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
No, you're wrong.
Yes, you can.
Literally, listen, bro. You like Vans, and I'm somebody that you have at a high priority, and you always want Vans. The feeling and connection that comes from me giving you those Vans, you won't get from going to a store and buying those Vans. So you cannot say you buy love. It's impossible.
Yeah, to add to John's is like a hug from somebody that you don't care about and doesn't care about you is different. It's different. Like if I hug somebody that I know, what you said? If I hug somebody that I casually know, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Right? It's different than when I come home and I hug my wife. Like that's different. That's a different hug. You know, you feel different. So it means something. So it's different.
No, it's like I said, like there's emotions to everything.
It was good.
And there's emotion and everything. What you connect those emotions to, somebody is gonna feel. It's like a perfect example. It's like music now will have you bumping your head. But music back then will have your soul dancing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
What you mean? I put on Gibby on and
blood, sweat, and tears into music, meaning like instruments. Like every single thing had to be sounding out. People had to put their. Now everything's computer, so you don't even feel that in the music now. You feel me? Like, and that's a simple example of it right there. You know? So,
I don't know. I love SZA. So
you love what?
SZA. It's just a phase, though. I go through a new female artist every week. You know what I mean? Sorry, SZA, if you ever see this.
So love is pain. In closing with Steven's point, is some of Steven's points is right. Like
no, I can take back the parts that I was wrong. You're correct.
But the other side is right though, where it's like love is not dealing or like just not even putting up with. I don't even know what the word is, but it's like loving someone, surviving.
Love is surviving other people's. Okay. I want to say
it's like being with someone.
Okay, love is supporting.
Or being with someone despite this thing. right?
Okay.
Despite this issue that they're having or this characteristic that they have, is like, okay, I love you. I don't love this part of you, you know, but still, you know, being with that person.
Ability to love every part of somebody.
No.
Can you love a negative part of someone?
I feel like that would mean perfection. I don't think that's possible.
No, like at the
Kinda.
end of the day, whatever you think is negative is subjective. You feel me? So
Because I like, for example, how many women have been in your life that you think is really cute when they're mad at you? Like, oh, you look cute when you're mad at me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
No, that's annoying as fuck.
Okay, well, me and John agree on this. Sometimes like, oh, you look cute when you're mad. I don't know what that is.
Y'all crazy, bro. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't know what that is. Like,
Yo,
you look
stop
cute when you're
playing
mad.
me. I'll punch in your forehead right now. Stop being so mad. Mwah.
You know what I mean? And, and that's another great episode of From the Chat. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe. Kiss the subscribe button, please.
Mwah. It's like, no, stop.
That's all it is critical thinking, honestly.